All right, it's the Crypto Currently podcast. Just a quick one today about shorting the market. Now that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange has opened up futures contracts on Bitcoin that leverages 5 Bitcoin per contract, there's a lot of people asking questions about what is shorting the market. How can you possibly make money on the value of something going down? This has always baffled people until somebody comes along and is able to explain it to them in a way that makes it clear to them. I used to be a licensed trader, and so even when this concept of shorting the market was introduced to me, I didn't understand it either. Luckily, I had people in my life, mentors and teachers, who explained it to me in a way that I can understand. So that's what I'm going to do for you today. It's going to be real short, and I just want you to have the confidence to know that everything that you need to understand shorting a market is already in your head. You already have all the information. You just haven't had it put together in a way that's made that particular concept accessible to you. And now it will be. And after this conversation, you're going to be able to talk to your friends like you're the expert and they're the idiot. So bully for you. Now, this is a marketplace, so we are not talking about dealing with your friends. Okay, when you're doing business with your friends or your relatives or people in your community, there's only one way to make money, and that's to buy low and then to sell high. Right? We all understand that concept. Buy low and sell high. That's how you make money. Buy low, sell high. Got that so far? Okay, cool. Because what shorting a market is doing the exact same thing. I'm going to explain that to you here in just a second. So when you buy low and you expect the value of that thing to go up, in the futures market, that's called a long position. You're going long, all right? You want, if we're talking about Bitcoin or pork bellies or unleaded gasoline, like right now, it's I'm making this recording on Christmas Eve, and so it's December. It's cold out, but I know for a fact that in 6 months it's going to be warm out, and people are going to be buying a lot more unleaded gasoline. So what I would do right now in the futures market is I would take out a contract that gives me the right or the obligation to sell gasoline 6 months from now. I'm going to buy it now because it's cold outside, so unleaded gasoline is cheap, and I'm going to sell it 6 months from now because it'll be warm out and it will be more expensive. So I bought low and I sold high. Got it? All right. Well, what shorting the market is it's buying low and it's selling high, only it's done in reverse order. But the functions have not changed. You still are buying low, and you still are selling high. You're just doing it in an order that you just never have done before, or you've done it and you've never really recognized that you were doing it, or you've had it happen in your life and you didn't realize that it was happening because you were on the other side of it. And I'll give you an example of that. So let's say that you go to Best Buy, okay? You go to Best Buy and you buy a television set, only they don't have it. So what they tell you is, sorry sir or ma'am, we don't have this television. Would you like to buy it right now anyways? Wait a minute. I thought you just told me that you didn't have it. Now you're offering to sell it to me. I don't understand. What's going on here? What, are we in the future? Okay, well, what happens is they're saying, look, I'm going to agree to sell this thing to you in the future. And you're going to pay for it right now. Even though I don't have it, I'm still going to sell it to you. Right? And so you give the guy your money for the TV, and he prints you out a receipt, and then he prints you out a contract, which you sign. It's the same concept in the futures market. You're signing a contract that gives you the right to take delivery of that TV and gives Best Buy the obligation to deliver it. He doesn't have the TV, and you've got the money. Now you've parted with the money, so you no longer have that money, and he still no longer has the TV, and you don't have the TV either. So you just parted with your money, but you have that contract. You understand? They sold you something that they did not have. So you saw a futures contract taking place. You just didn't think of it because you were on the other side of it. You were on the buying end of it. Well, they were on the selling end of it. In this example, they sold you something that they didn't have. You see what I'm saying? So if there was some sort of natural disaster where, the raw materials for, the components that go into a television set, if there was a shortage on those raw materials, the minerals and whatnot, the price of TVs would go up. But guess what? It wouldn't affect you at all, right? In fact, it would adversely affect Best Buy because they'd still have to deliver that TV to you at the price that you already paid, the price that you already agreed on. So in the marketplace, right, where we trade commodities, and commodities are anything from soybeans to wheat to gold and unleaded gasoline, heating oil, a barrel of oil itself, and currencies. All of the major currencies in the world are traded mostly on the London Forex, but in this case, Bitcoin is traded on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and the Chicago Board of Exchange. This is an actual commodity now, and you can take out a futures contract on it. So if the concept of buying or selling something in the marketplace is still sort of confusing to you, well, that's how most transactions are. There are people that have absolutely no intention of taking delivery of that unleaded gasoline. They're just trying to make some money. They're speculators, just like you and me. They're speculating on the price of it going up and down. So they buy and sell contracts. And there's somebody on the other end of that transaction. They're called market makers. Okay, so when you buy a contract, when you go long, when you go into the marketplace and you say, I think Bitcoin is going to go up, so I'm going to take out a futures contract that is long the Bitcoin. Well, you put in that order, and then the market makers, they go find somebody who's on the other end of that saying, no, I say Bitcoin is going to go down, and that person accepts your contract. That person has gone short. So if you're right and the price of that Bitcoin goes up, that person on the other end of that market has to pay you for it. If you're wrong, then you have to pay that other person. See what I'm saying? That person has gone short, and the cost of the Bitcoin in this example has gone down, and you have the obligation to pay that person. So that person has gone short because they sold you Bitcoin at a high price, and then they bought it at a low price. You pay that person that difference. So remember, in the futures market, when you're shorting a position, when you're trying to make money off of the value of something going down, you're still buying low, you're still selling high, you're just doing it in reverse order.